for like we're trying to convince ourselves that we have a rotation.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today, guys, we have to ask the question. With a bunch of injuries happening to our starting rotation, we gotta ask, is it time to call up SWR and or Alek Manoah? Before we break it down, guys, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below if you like this content. And as well, today Jays is the code for Monkey Knife Fight and Manscaped. So use that code and be sure to get your balls clean and get your bank account full of money if you're good at sports betting.
That's right. All right, that's right.
So Nick, Alek Manoah, SWR. Tell me a little bit about them. Like, why are they so good, and can we see them in our rotation?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that they were top prospects because you can just check that out, guys, by looking at our prospect list, and they are top prospects. This is our fourth and our sixth guys, SWR and Alek Manoah, respectively. But they really kind of blossomed in spring training. They were lights out, man. I don't think either one of them let up a run. Nope. It was strikeout city for both of them, especially Alek Manoah. And they dominated top lineups. And it felt like, for me especially, but also a lot of Blue Jays fans, it was like eyes wide open. Oh, hello, like bing, 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 bing. We have some young studs in our system. And that's exactly what they are, man. They're being heralded as potential number twos, number threes, maybe even number ones if they hit their ceiling. These are rotational guys. And the question is it now time to get them to the major leagues, or do they need a little bit more development in the AAA or the minor league system?
That's a good thing. Is do they need, that's the question, guys. Do they need more development? Well, let's look at SWR for right now. He's a 20-year-old prospect. He's
young boy.
Young, but he's already had 2 minor league seasons, and that's not even including 2020 because there was no minor league season. So technically 3 years he's been with the organization. Been in the like major league organization. So but I do think that SWR, even though he's younger than Manoah, who's 23, I think he's more of a complete pitcher because he's got 4 complete pitches he can control with complete command. And he definitely looks like he could be more stretched out for a rotation spot.
Well, when I hear 4 pitches, I immediately, my brain goes to MLB The Show right now, and I think about the best starting pitchers, and they always have like 4 or 5 pitches in their arsenal that they can command super well. I was reading up on this guy, and he's got like a lower to mid-90s fastball. But what's super good about him is apparently the changeup. Apparently, he's got the best changeup in the system. It is filthy. It is like it just crosses everybody up. So if he can command 4 pitches effectively, that to me seems like a 6-inning guy, even though he is only 20 years old.
Exactly, yeah. So he's definitely the most ready, and MLB.com has him estimated to arrive in the show
this year,
literally in 2021,
this year, baby.
Right? So, but the other guy, Alek Manoah, who came out of college, he's only had about 1 minor league season. Well, and he's 23 years old. So what's his deal?
Well, it's like he came out, he kind of did the Austin Martin route, went through college, and he tore it up, man. Like in 2018 in the Cape Cod League, don't entirely know what that is, but he led the league in Ks, and it feels like he's just a K monster because in his 17 innings that he has played in minor league ball, I think he had like 27 Ks to go along with them. We saw him in spring training too, just continuing that train. It feels like Alek Manoah, maybe he's not as high on people's radar because he went the college route and because he's 23, but I feel like the ceiling on him is like really, really high.
Especially nowadays, Ks are glorified as great starting pitching, and he is a starting pitcher. He will be stretched out. He's been having some things where he's kind of with his one league, like the 1 year he did play, he just got drafted out of college, so he was kind of like beaten down from the amount of workload that he's gotten. There
was some sort of workload thing going on there, and I know that's why he didn't pitch too much. But,
but he does have the potential to be a starter, as you've seen in college. So we'll have to see this upcoming minor league season if they're going to stretch him out to hopefully get to that starting potential level.
They definitely should, man. You know, and And this is a guy who's got the gas. Like, we're talking mid to high 90s fastball. And for both of these guys too, like when you're 23 and when you're 20 years old, like the velo, it still has some ticks to go up. You know, like we can still go to the gym and we can get that going. So this could definitely be a guy for us. You know, I don't want to say like Glasnow, Cole, DeGrom-esque, but you know, that kind of player with that like super hot fastball and then some great breaking stuff too, because he also does the slider and the changeup as well. So, so with that being said, with these guys being like young studs, and I think we're both very excited about them. We're hoping that when we do make that World Series push 2023, 2024, these guys will be in the rotation. What are you thinking, man? Is now the time? Walk us through what our pitching staff is looking like in the majors right now.
All right, so currently right now, as this is coming out, we have Mats and we have Ray. And then we have 3 question marks. We both know, and everyone knows, that Ryu went on the 10-day IL recently. We're not sure exactly when he's coming back, but he should be back within the next 1 to 2 weeks.
His ass is all messed up right now.
It's all right glute messed up. Fucked.
Yeah.
And then Pearson's been recovering and rehabbing for a long time, it seems like, but he should be back again 1 to 2 weeks. With that being said, that gives us 4 solid starters. If you want to toss in Stripling in there as a 5th starter, sure. He had a good outing last time, but I'm not going to be banking on that guy for the entire year to be a quality guy. But here's the situation. We're going to run into another injury, inevitably. It's just going to happen. You can't ask these guys to be fully healthy. And you're also asking these guys to put up good career years, especially Robbie Ray and Mats, who need to prove it this year.
Who are still question marks in their own right, guys. Like, these are not exclamation points here. They have been at one point in their career, but, you know, the jury is still out.
Exactly. So with that being said, you know, maybe we get, you know, obviously I think we're going to get a solid Ryu year, no matter what. I think we can put our money on it.
As long as he can stay off the IL, we should be good. Knock on the wood, my friend.
Right, and then you can maybe bank for another one. But you see what we're doing here? We're trying to fight for, like, we're trying to convince ourselves that we have a rotation.
Oh yeah, buddy. I'm consistently in the shower telling myself everything will be okay.
Right?
It's like we're pitching fucking Bergen, and I'm like, no, it'll be good.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah, like, we'll be totally fine.
3 bullpen days and 7 days in a row of baseball.
Tommy Malone, throw 85 down the middle. It's good.
To the Atlanta lineup, right? But you see what we're doing? We're trying to convince ourselves, guys, I think it's time to call up one of these guys. And it's not going to be anytime soon because, again, we're still going to go through injuries. And plus, the minor league season hasn't even happened yet. So you need to see what these guys are doing against live batters in a competitive environment after a year off in 2020.
Okay, so just to clarify then, you think it's time this year, but not time right now?
Not time right now.
Okay.
I'd say... For me, I know you have may have a different opinion, but for me, right now, the closest guy who's the most developed to help us in the rotation is SWR because of his complete 4-pitch mix and his experience. So if he starts performing well, 3, 4, 5 starts into the minor leagues, and he is killing it, and we're having some underperformances and some injuries in the majors, I think it's time to pull the trigger. His service time will be okay, so let's get him to the show.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm even going to be a little bit quicker on the trigger in that regard because, you know, 4, 5, 6 starts, you know, you're looking at like a month and a half in, and I don't know right now if we can ride with these guys. I don't think that we're going to make it a month and a half with 0 injuries. You know, I'm happy to run with it if they are healthy, but I think at some point, you know, later down the line, once we do get Pearson and Ryu back, another thing is going to force our hand, whether it's in the bullpen or whether it is in the starting pitching. And I think that's where I differ, because if we do have like a major injury, another one in the bullpen, I think that Alek Manoah is the guy. I feel like he would be awesome for like 1 inning, 2 innings. He's got 3 pitches. He can throw the gas. He can K people. And that would be some great major league experience. If we do lose out on one of the starters, though, maybe Mats goes down, maybe Stripling is struggling some more, then I definitely think SWR has got to make his way up to the major leagues. I don't know if we can immediately put Manoah into like 4, 5, 6 inning role. I don't even know if SWR can do 6 innings yet. We don't know that.
Right now he's pitching between 4 and 5 in the minor leagues. So again, that's why we kind of have to see a little bit what he does in the minor leagues. As much as I want to get him up right away too, like as soon as possible, he does need to pitch and get his work.
Well, exactly. You know, and this is all assuming that he doesn't get absolutely demolished in the first couple starts.
Completely different podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't think that's going to happen. No. We are assuming that he will continue what he has been doing, which is very good. 3.48 ERA through his 124 innings in the minors, so pretty solid. In fact, he might even improve another year of development. So I do definitely think we are going to see both of these guys by the end of this year. Yeah, and I think that Manoah, maybe in the bullpen, SWR, hopefully in the starting rotation.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I just want to add one last comment that I just thought of with your Manoah comment coming in and being like giving 1, maybe 2 innings. He could maybe even give 3 innings of solid relief if you're like going off of Ross Stripling's 4 outings and you need someone to dominate in a close game. Yeah, Manoah can bring you to the end of the game.
That's what I think, dude. If we're gonna be riding with these bullpen days, you know, like why are we pitching Tommy Milone? Like he's not very good. Like. Or if we're literally going to give one dude one time through the lineup, I want him throwing heat,
Manoah.
and I want him to be able to strike people out, you know, because then it's like you go through 9 guys, you get 3 innings of work, and then you're done, and somebody else comes in, and they're always crossed up. Tommy Milone, he's not a strikeout guy, he's not an ERA guy, he's a nothing guy.
He's a nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Tommy Milone, and if we're going to be doing days like that, I would much prefer at least higher ceiling boys coming in, so that's where I think Alek Manoah could fit in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any last comments about these guys?
I'm okay. Honestly, as much as I do want to see them, I'm hoping that it won't be for a little while. Just because if we do, I think it's injury ridden. Right. I would hope and I would assume that we're going to see one of these first guys beginning of June, probably. Yeah, I would imagine.
For me, yeah, that's around where I'm looking at. Like, let's reassess this conversation in about 4 to 5 weeks and see where we're at in terms of rotation. But again, injuries are inevitable. Underperformance is going to happen. I want to see these guys come up and play because let's face it, boys. This is our freaking window. We have 5 years, and their contracts are 6. They fit perfectly in our World Series, hopefully contending team of the future. Well, so let's bring them.
And when we are winning the World Series, which we're going to win about 10 years in a row, it's going to be a trio, in my opinion, of Big Nate, SWR, and Alek Manoah. That, I think, will be the top 3. But you know what? First things first. Let's get named Pearson back, boys. But let us know what you think in the comments down below about these folks, if they need to be brought up immediately, if you think that what we saw from Ross Stripling last time is repeatable, and in that case, maybe we don't even need to see these guys at all. But let us know what you think in the comments down below.
And guys, you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, and Breaker. And also make sure to check us out on our Instagram, Twitter. We're also having a giveaway right now. Mother's Day is coming up.
Mama!
So check out our Instagram and check out the video as well that we have posted on our YouTube channel to find out all the details on how to be entered. And as well, guys, $3 a month as Patreon. You can come and join our show. I saw a comment saying, I would love to join the wine show with you guys.
It's that easy.
It's that easy, boys. It's in the description. Check out our Patreon page. Super duper easy.
Super duper easy. And we would so appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays go.